Alright, today I'm going to show you guys how to do a squared around. This time it's going to be a 4" by 4" square to a 7" diameter circle. So this is just an idea of how it's going to be. So 4" by 4", 7 inches in diameter, right around there. So let's begin. So let's go ahead and start off by making our square. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to go and divide this in half. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 4 inches, so 2. Okay, so we got that. We know that's our center. So now we're going to go ahead and make a 7" diameter circle. So 1, 2, 3.5. So again, for the people that already know how to do this, there is a faster way of doing it, which means since the square is centered in the circle, there's no need to draw this whole thing. But again, this video is made for the beginner so that it's not to confuse anybody yet. Seems like we have a slight bow here. Okay. See, if I would have done it before, it would have been better, but that's fine. Okay. So we got our square inside the circle. Now we're going to go ahead and divide these in pies like we did last time. So we're going to do one here, here, and here. I'm going to throw an arc somewhere here in the middle. Throw another one there. Line it up to the crisscross arcs to the center of the circle or square, and that'll be your center right there. Okay, do the same thing on this. Throw an arc there, throw an arc there, swing it around, throw an arc there, and throw an arc there. Okay, on the other video as well, if you notice, or if you remember, I went ahead and made the other portion of the square and circle. I divided them as well. So basically this side, this time I'm just going to stay with this side just because it makes sense. I'm going to try to make it to where I can make this a little bit quicker. Again, this is all in the centered, so there's only need to just concentrate on just one portion of this so you can get all your information. Okay, so we got this down. We're going to go ahead and number these as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This corner right here we'll give it the letter A. And then this half portion of the square, we're going to give it X. Okay. Okay, so we have that. Now we're going to go ahead and make our true length triangle. So again, our true length triangle is a vertical and horizontal line, 90 degrees, obviously. And that's going to help you establish the lengths from one point to another. Okay, we're going to go ahead and give it a 4-inch height. So as you can see right here, we're giving it a 4-inch height. So that means you're going to go ahead and now start from this point right here and go up vertically 4 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw a line right there. And that is your 4-inch height mark. Okay. If you guys remember from our first video, all you have to do now is transfer this information that you have here onto this true length triangle right here on this baseline. So you start off by putting one tip of your compass on A and open up your other end of the tip where the pencil's at to 1, like so. Put this tip where both the vertical and horizontal lines meet and strike an arc. That is now 1. Again, since this is all centered, 1 and 5 should have the same distance. You know, depending if I made this correctly, they should be pretty close. So let's see. So if A and 1 is here, it should be the same as 5. There it is. So that means that you can go ahead and not only put 1, but also mark this as 5. So that's going to be 5. We're going to do the same thing on 2 and 4 since they should have the same distance because again, this is centered in the middle of the circle. So A2, put your compass right there. The sharp tip on A, the other end on 2. If I swing it around to 4, it should match. And there it is. So put your tip on where the vertical and horizontal lines meet, strike an arc, and we're going to make this mark these as 2 and 4. Mark it as 2 and 4. So obviously the only one that's going to be by itself is going to be 3. So put your tip on A, put your other tip of the compass with the pencil end on 3, lock it in place like so, and go back to your true length triangle, strike an arc, and that is 3. And then the last thing we need is the distance from X to 5. So it doesn't matter where you put it. Put one end on 5, the other end on X. Lock it in place like so. Go back to your horizontal and vertical line, true length triangle. And that is now going to be X. Right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay, so just kind of go over this really quick. You guys can see this is what we've drawn. So we have a 4-inch height. And this distance from X to 5 is basically this. It's from this point to this point right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. Now that we got all this information here, now we can go ahead and make our layout, which is going to be this. All right. Okay. So we're going to start off with, we know is going to be a 4-inch by 4-inch square. So we're going to draw a horizontal line 4 inches wide. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw a horizontal line right there. we're going to mark this as A and A. Okay, so we know that those are our starting points to now start striking arcs right here to get our radius to make this. Okay, so from here it's all downhill. This is a fun part. Okay, so put your tip on 1 on your true length triangle and open up your other end of the compass to the 4-inch height mark. Lock it in place so you guys can see. Put your tip on A. Strike an arc somewhere here in the middle. And do the same thing on this side. Put it on A and then crisscross the previous arc like so. And that is now number 1. Okay. Now we want to get the distance from 1 to 2. Because now we want to go outwards, left and right of number 1. So you're going to get your compass and open up to the distance from 1 to 2 like so. Take your compass and put the sharp end of the tip on 1 and strike a half moon arc on both sides of 1 like this and like this. So what you've done now is you know that from 1 to 2, it's going to be somewhere around here. And the same thing on this side. So you're going to finish it off by finding 2 by using your true length triangle. Put your sharp end tip on 2. Open the other tip with a pencil end on your 4-inch height mark. Like so. Put your tip on A. Here and finish off that arc like so. Do the same thing on this side and that's it. That's 2. Rinse and repeat. Okay, so that's the advantage. This is the advantage of having the or 2 different compasses. So on this I'm just going to go ahead and leave it because I know that the distances from each number should be equally the same. They should be pretty close. But if you don't have another compass, and you'll just have to, you know, open up your compass to one end, take it to the next number. So in this case 2, lock it in place. Now put your tip on 2 and we're going to strike an arc to try to establish 3. Do the same thing on this end and throw an arc. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and finish it off by crisscrossing and finding number 3 with your on your true length triangle. So put your tip on 3, open up your compass to the 4-inch height mark, take it back to your layout right here on A, strike an arc, and that is now 3. Okay, now we want to go and find 4. Somewhere around here. So 3 to 4 distance is like this. I'm going to put our compass on 3, strike a random mark on each side of both numbers. Alright, go to our true length triangle, go to 4, our horizontal line, open up to the vertical 4-inch height mark, go to A, strike an arc like this, put this tip here as well, strike an arc, and that's 4. We're almost done. So that's 4 and 4. Okay, last one's going to be 5. So we're going to take the distance from 4 to 5, put this tip on 4, strike a random mark where 5 is going to be at right here. Do the same thing on this side, strike a random mark for 5, go back to our true length triangle, go to 5, to the 4-inch height mark, lock it in place, go to A here, and finish off that crisscross arc to establish 5. Okay, so that is 5. Okay, now what we want to do is, since we know we have 4 inches here, which is this, but we're going to make just one portion, so we only want to reach halfway of that. So 4 inches divided by 2 would be 2 inches. So what you do, since we know that from here to here is 2 inches, I'm going to go ahead and use my compass, lock it in place. We're at 2 inches, as you can see. 1, 2. Put it on A. Then strike a random half moon arc on both sides of A. So that's 1. And that's 2. Okay, and then the last part would be to find X. So you're going to put your compass on the X, which is right here. And then open it up to the 4-inch height mark. Lock it in place. Now you're going to put your tip, your sharp tip, on 5. And then crisscross the half moon arcs like so. Do the same thing on this end. And crisscross the previous arc like that. Now we're going to go ahead and connect these lines, these numbers. So 5 to 4, 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. And we're going to go 5 to X, which is here, and then 8 to X, which is like this. Same thing on this side, 5 to X, like that, and then X to A, like so. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and draw out our bend marks. So I think that what I might end up doing in future videos, I might end up using one of these layouts or patterns and then transfer them over to a sheet of aluminum and then show you guys the process as to how it's being done, you know, as far as bending them and then putting them together when you're working at a sheet metal shop. But for now, this is the only way I'm going to be doing it, or not the only one for now, but in the meantime, because it's just more efficient. Obviously, I'm not going to be buying a whole bunch of sheet metal and then making a whole bunch of examples. All right, so there's your layout, guys. Now, if I made this correctly, you know, depending on how accurate I made this piece should match this piece right here, this layout. So let's see. Yeah, pretty close. So as you can see, you just have to make one of these to make this, again, because this is all centered and even out. So I'll show you guys right now. So I would go like this. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then this is 4 inches, but we're only reaching out 2. So halfway. So it'd be like this. And then on the other side, we'll do the same thing. See that? Okay, we'll do the same thing on this side. You can see that it matches pretty close. Do that here. And that's it. All right, hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.